Hi there. Welcome to my webinar, Great Leaders Take Care of Their People. My name is Jen Brooks. I'm the Athletic Director at Ursuline Academy in St. Louis, Missouri, and it's my honor that you've joined me to learn about how we as athletic directors can take care of our people, AKA our coaches. I've been a high school athletic director for 24 years now. I've been involved with high school sports for going on 30 years. Currently, I'm the mentor coordinator for new athletic directors for the state of Missouri. And again, thank you for joining us. So my question to you is, what are we doing to take care of our people? As athletic administrators, the leaders of our programs, we need to ask ourselves this question: what are we doing to take care of our people? Let's dive into that now. Where do we find good people? It starts with what we do and what we model. It's essential for us as athletic administrators to be a healthy model of good people or a great leader. That in itself is a billboard for recruitment. We have to be acutely aware of how we portray the job, our job as athletic directors, to others. Are we constantly complaining about how hard it is, how so many parents complain, the long hours, and the list goes on? Or are we finding the good in all that we do and encounter instead of complaining? Do we walk around our buildings with a chip on our shoulder? Or are we walking through the hallways smiling and greeting our students? We have to remember we are a walking advertisement when it comes to finding good people, AKA our coaches. So my question to you is, how are you engaging with your current athletes in looking towards the future? What are you doing to getting your student athletes, your current student athletes, involved in your athletic program? Some of the things that I do at Ursuline, we offer a director of basketball operations, which is a fancy way of saying manager. And we kind of give them as many responsibilities as we think that they can handle. We also do student athletic trainer that works closely hand in hand with our athletic trainer. And you have to, be careful with, there's lots of things that they can't do, but there's certainly some things they can do. I have a student athletic advisory council. So I have two students, a senior and a junior from each varsity sport. We meet once a month and we talk about, the future of the program, what we can do different, what we can do better, engaging them to buy in to the program. How do we retain? How do we keep these good people? How do we keep our good coaches? I believe that great leaders take care of their people. And when we do that, I believe our people will do anything for us, including working for us. When we keep good coaches in our system, everyone wins. And this is how they win. Students develop healthy long-term relationships with their coaches. Your programs are able to establish a team culture. Your programs are able to establish a style of play. Expectations from one year to the next are clear and less susceptible to drama or parental interference over the unknown. Everyone wins when you keep good coaches in your program. So I ask you to think about, what are the tangible things you're doing to retain your people? I have some suggestions for you. Here's some things that I do. Say thank you. Coaches can be so very hard on themselves. One of the ways you can help them find balance and joy in their work is to simply say thank you. And here's some examples of how you can say thank you. Take a coach to lunch or dinner after a big win. Provide some free team gear. Everybody loves free gear. Share the positive feedback you hear from other people. So often we have to tell our coaches about the negative things. When you hear the good things, it's important that you share the good things as well. Or when you see something good, say that, share that good. And then the other thing that I do is I write a handwritten note each year to each of my coaches, and I mail it to their house at the end of the season. So it's a thank you note for all the work they put into that season, and I send it to their house. I think it means a little bit more than them walking into the coach's office and getting out of their mailbox. And I've gotten positive feedback about that. When it comes to our coaches, they're often asked to sacrifice time away from their families to lead a team. Are there things that you can do to include their family members in your program? Some examples. Let their family into home games for free. When we do this, we're reducing the stress of separation from their family. Also, if you claim family as one of your department or school values, then you are living that value by including their family. The other thing I want you to think about when you define family, you talk about family, is how do you define family? For example, if you have a young coach, they might define their family as their parents or a college roommate, while an older coach might define that as her spouse or an adult child or maybe a friend. Okay, so be loose on how you define family. Take that stress off of them. Tell them they can invite whoever they want. Most of our coaching duties fall under other duties as assigned, and those hours can add up. We need to be clear with our coaches about taking care of themselves and finding balance, which only benefits our student athletes in the long run. So my question to you is, can we give our coaches flexibility with their hours? Can or how do we do it in a way that they don't feel guilty about flex hours or taking time off? And that guilt thing is important. We have to give them permission. So don't assume your coaches know that it's okay with flex hours. We must articulate that it is okay to have flex hours. It's okay to take time off. Be proactive in your conversations. The coaches need to know what is okay to do, so there are no assumptions about childcare or flex hours. Communication is the key. There are many times I've said to a team after our final loss of the season, next year starts now, which might sound great, like a great post-game speech, but it isn't very good for the health of a coach. We need to be clear about our expectations for the postseason. Make sure you once again physically articulate to your coaches to take time off. Often our coaches forget to pause. We need to help them take that pause so they're energized and refreshed to help our student athletes. Example could be you telling your coaches not to be in the office for a week. We all win when our coaches have had time to regroup. Again, it comes back to articulating and giving permission so they don't have that guilt. They know what's expected. They know what's okay. It's also important for us as great leaders to take care of our people by acknowledging their life events. If we claim to value our coaches as people, then we need to acknowledge life events, those things that happen off the field or court. And by doing this, we send the message that we see the whole person. So some events to consider are new babies, adoptions, marriage. And with each of these, we can respond with a gift card for dinner of a date night, an announcement in the department newsletter, a sign-up list for meals to be delivered, etc. While many life events are exciting, there are others that are also very stressful. So if you have a coach that is pregnant or just gave birth, how can you give them extra consideration? You need to tell them, what hours do you expect? How does this impact the physical health of the coach? What's happening? Articulate your expectations and be available for support. The other thing that we need to think about is, when there's a death in the family or an illness, do we want our coaches to just fight through it, or do you want them to take some time away? You need to tell them what they can do. It's, again, communicating what's okay. In all of these examples, we're not only sending a message to our coaches, but we're sending a message to our student athletes about the real world and how adults function. When we do these things, we keep good coaches in our program and everyone wins. So then we need to develop good people and good programs. So some examples that I do here at my school: National Girls and Women's Sports Day. This is an annual event in the first week of February. When we publicly celebrate this event, we're acknowledging the value of girls and women in sports. And so some ways that you can do this is host a breakfast for your female student athletes, parents, and coaches. Host a special game as a fundraiser with a cause that supports women. Have a guest speaker. Another thing that I do at school is I have a superheroes event, or a student scholar athlete night, or a teacher appreciation night at a game, and different modes of that where one year we made superhero capes. The kids each athlete picked a teacher who they deemed a superhero because of the impact that they made on their life. That kid made that cape. We invited those teachers to a game, gave them the capes at halftime, introduced them, and I tell you, these capes hang proudly in each of these classrooms. That went over really well. Reach out to me. I can always give you more information on how I do those nights, my teacher appreciation nights, etc. If we want to keep women in coaching, we need to develop a department that values your female coaches. We have to create a culture of gender equity. Are you showing your staff that female sports and female coaches are equal? Do they have the same gym times, access to new equipment, resources, etc.? If they do, fantastic. If they don't, I encourage you to make those changes. My question to you is, would any female athlete in your building feel less valued in your eyes because she is not a male athlete? And if you can say yes, that could be a problem, I encourage you to take action today to fix that. Look for ways to honor your coaches. Coaches appreciate being recognized for their work. Look for opportunities to showcase the good work they are doing. So some suggestions would be create awards if you don't already have one. We have one here at Ursuline. We have a patron saint, St. Angela, so we do a Spirit of St. Angela award each year. And I give that to a coach who I thought, lived our mission the best way. Be intentional about nominating and acknowledging your female coaches. So it shouldn't always be the football coach. And if you have a female football coach, that's great. But make sure that you're acknowledging your female coaches as well. Find ways to get your coaches in the media in a positive way. One of the things I've created is the Global Community of Women in High School Sports. It's the premier leadership organization that develops, connects, and advances women working in high school sports. This organization takes a proactive role in advancing women in positions of influence and powerfully shapes the landscape of women leaders. So again, we support each other. We have to support each other, what we do. That's how great leaders take care of their people. They support their peers. I want to share an event that's coming up, hopefully coming up. It's the High School Women's Coaches Conference. It'll be May 3rd to the 4th at the Hyatt Regency in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's a We Coach and NFHS collaborative event, and you can register on the We Coach website. Here's my contact information. Please don't ever hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything. I want to take care of my people. I want to take care of you. So I'm here for you. For now, my name is Jen Brooks, and I'm wishing you a great day.